I just look really tired. I'm gonna start making videos again, and this time I'm doing it to practice talking because a lot of the time when I'm speaking or trying to tell something to people, it's like my brain goes blank and I forget what I was about to say or I lose my point halfway. So trying to like get on camera and practice talking is a fairly good idea. So yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. So yeah, I dropped out of uni like 2 years ago now, and since then I've been just doing nothing for a while, and then I did a chef's education, so I'm now a chef apparently. And now over the summer I've just been taking some time off, been traveling a little bit, and tomorrow I'm going to visit my friend who is in Åland right now, which is, what do you say, an island between Finland and Sweden. So yeah. But I've been thinking a lot about what I want to do this fall, and for a while I was really into getting back to uni, and not to what I was studying before, but starting the agronomy program. It's about agriculture science, sort of. And for a while I was really excited about it, and yesterday I found out I got in. But just this week I started to get second thoughts, and I started to think about what's called like unschooling or self-directed learning, which is something I started thinking about already, like when I first dropped out of uni, and now I just kind of started thinking about it again. What it's really about is just you make up your own plan for learning stuff. You learn from life and you learn from your experiences, and you learn what you need to learn and what you want to learn more than what's in the curriculum, what the school says you're supposed to learn. And I've become more and more frustrated about like school and how the school system works, and just this thing with grades. And because of me having been depressed, and still, I guess I am to some extent depressed still, this whole pressure of school has gotten a bit too much, and I don't think I can go back for a while. I don't think it would be good for me. I just have another breakdown and, yeah, drop out again, I think. So I think now my plan is to start working, and then I want to focus on learning stuff myself. I have my poetry group, which is a really good thing. One of the points of starting the poetry group was so that I would have some kind of motivation for learning about poetry and writing myself. And it has worked really well, and we are, I don't know, it's been really nice. I always feel really inspired after our meetups, and people seem to appreciate them. So that's fun. And I hope that this fall I'll have more energy to actually plan the meetups more thoroughly, and maybe read up on subjects I haven't read about so much or don't know that much about, just so we can, well, find inspiration from even more things and not just from what I already know about. So that's one of my plans. There's a lot of things I want to learn, and we'll see how I make this work. I'm not sure I want to have like a schedule and decide that I'm going to learn these things now and then I'm going to go on to these things. I'll just see what I feel interested in, But one thing that I'm going to at least try out to begin with is to have weekly goals, just to have something to keep me on track and to keep me motivated to actually do things. So one of my goals this week was to read a book called Läst och lärt, which means read and learned. It's about how to read efficiently and how to sort of remember what you read, which I think is really good if I'm going to start studying in any way. I often forget or don't really understand all the text I'm reading, so it's good to have in the back of your mind some tips for how to do that. But that's done already. I finished it yesterday. And a second goal of mine was to create a card holder for my travel cards, because the one I have is broken and I wanted to try to make one myself, so I'm sewing it. And then one of my goals was to make a Tumblr where I can sort of show my progress and just collect like resources I find useful and so on. So that's up. It's the same, I think I've posted on here before. It's absentcatwalk.tumblr.com. So you can check it out. I'll also try to get some like photos up and link to my poetry blog and so on. And then my last goal for this week was to make a YouTube video to get this started. My learn to talk, learn to stay on track thing. So now I'm doing that. And I think it's been pretty good. I've had a start and a finish, and yeah, better than I thought it would be. I guess I've had a lot of practice in talking and explaining things through my poetry group as well. And yeah, that's one thing. I really feel like I've developed a lot of skills, and like I've become pretty good at leading groups through my poetry meetups. So that's a really good feeling, to know I've gotten better at it. I think that should be all for this time. I don't want to make a really long video, but this is what's happening now. So expect more from me.